Hey guys, it's 2021, September. Had a lot of great disc golf this year, lots of fun with friends, some good tournaments. Got 2 tournaments left this year, but thought I would give an update of what I'm throwing in my bag as I've changed quite a bit over the last 12, 18 months. So let's take a peek. We'll start with putters, then mids, and work our way up from there. So I'm still doing the MVP Voyager Light bag. Love this bag. Really fantastic. Holds everything I need. Plus, you know, not just discs, but my speaker, my water bottle, everything else I need on the course. Been an awesome bag to have. But let's start with putters. So I putt with Latitude 64 Zero Medium Keystones. I carry 2 of them in the bag. This more purplish one I definitely use more for throwing. A little bit understable, so you can always get that that turn to the right. And then I'm always putting with this pink Keystone. Just love the feel in the hand. I love a beadless putter, and just feels really clean coming out of the hand. Switched the Keystone about a year ago and really haven't looked back since. Also in the top of my bag, I have a bunch of approach discs that we can go through here. First is this K1 KASTAPLAST Berg. Really, this is probably the first KASTAPLAST disc I got. Just kind of doing some research, and while it's not my most thrown out of the other Kasta discs in my bag, very unique, just really drops out of the sky, great for placement shots, up shots. I throw this both forehand and backhand. If you haven't tried a Berg yet, at least give one a shot, you might like it. From there, for ups, I also have a Cosmic Firm Envy. So a little AXIOM Envy here. This flies very similar to my Keystones, but with this firm plastic and the gyro, I feel like I can just rip on it that much more. Takes that much more torque. So for a driving putter where I need that understability, the Envy is my go-to. The last 2 up discs in my bag. The first is this ECLIPSE Proton Streamline Stabilizer. This is probably my most used upshot disc in my bag. Just absolutely love this disc for both backhand and forehand. I've got an ace with it this year. Just really fantastic for those placement upshots. And last but not least is my WESTSIDE VIP ANVIL. Use this a ton, and actually it really helped me in some tournaments this year. While I will throw this on a backhand from time to time, it's mostly a forehand upshot disc. Can always get it to kind of curl right at the end, get a predictable skip. Really love this ANVIL. From there, moving on into more of my mid-range speed. So I really only have one disc that's considered like a mid-range speed, unless you count that ANVIL. And that's a KASTAPLAST K1 Sphea. This is my understable mid-range, really great for popping stuff up either hills or a nice just turnover mid-range shot. I've really been liking this Sphea. I've got a few of them, but this is the one that I've been having in my bag the most. Really great and reliable. From there, I have 3 different KASTAPLAST KAX discs. I have 2 KAX-Zs and a KAX. This is all my mid-range line, all again in that 5 to 6 speed. I tend to have all my approach discs in that sort of 3 and 4, slow mid-range, if you will, and then almost fairway driver with the rest of my mid-range here, or at least as I throw mid-range. So outside that Sphea, I have a this is a K1 Soft KAX-Z. This is my most understable of my KAX-Z. Still not as much as that Sphea, but I can rip this straight and flat. And it really just pushes straight and flat that whole time. Very a little fade at the end. From there, I have a regular K1 KAX-Z, a little bit more overstable than that more beat-in soft one. So this goes straight for a long time, and then really will get that slight fade to the left at the end. And then I have a K1 Soft KAX, so the regular KAX mid-range. Really love this. Can always depend on it. Nice and straight flight, but it never going to turn this over, and really start to see that fade early in its flight and kind of dumps to the left. So those my KAX mid-range discs. From there we go into more of the traditional fairway driver slot. I've just got a few here that help just me stretch some of that distance when I need it. I've got a OPTO Explorer here. This is probably my go-to fairway driver, especially when I'm going into some kind of headwind and I'm trying to control the distance and not go too far. If it's too far for one of my caxes or an up disc, and then closer, or you know, one of my distance drivers would blow past it, the Explorer is the one I definitely go to. I also have a KASTAPLAST K1 Falk. This is an understable control driver, really great, kind of very similar to that Svea in that I can release it on hyzer, pop it up, get it to go straight, or I can release it on flat and have that predictable turn to the right for those shots that need it. And last but not least, in my sort of fairway driver slot, I have a overstable. This is a LUCID FELON. Again, into a headwind, I might throw this backhand, but most of the time I'm throwing this forehand for that predictable skip to the right. FELON's just a great disc. Had this in the bag almost all year. Rely on a lot. Great disc. From there, let's get a bit faster, a bit more control driver, sort of 9 and 10 speed. So that Falk, understable 9 speed as well, can definitely use that. The next tick up from that is going to be this VANDAL. I think this is a LUCID VANDAL here. A little bit lighter weight. This one's great, especially when I have to go up a hill. I can still pop it on hyzer. It'll pop up, give me a nice bit of glide. And again, at a lighter weight, this thing can really rip as long as there's no wind out there. Next up from that, I have a Dynamic Discs LUCID Escape. This is my Sendi's stamp, great woods disc. This has been a straight fairway from the beginning. Now, since I've been throwing it a while, it's hit a few trees, definitely a little more understable, but I hyzer flip this all the time in the woods around here on Maryland courses. Really fantastic disc. Finding that fairway driver that just goes straight for days is really a godsend here in Maryland. And last but not least, we've got the ANAX. This is an ESP ANAX from Discraft, 10-speed control driver, overstable. I use this a ton. I can, on both backhand and forehand, there's a few holes that I always rely on this on where I want tons of forward push, lots of distance, but that reliable fade at the end. I can always go to the ANAX. All right, last but not least, distance drivers in the bag. Starting from understable and going up from there. So the most understable distance driver in my bag is this MVP, I think this is a, NEUTRON or AXIOM NEUTRON VANISH. Definitely understable. I'll either roll this down as a roller, or if I'm going up a hill, again, I can hyzer flip it up, really expect it to turn over. Almost just a utility disc these days. Versus being like an understable distance driver. So great disc though. From there, somewhat similar flight to that Vanish, except a little bit more, a tick more overstable at the end, is this KASTAPLAST K1 GRYM. Again, super understable, so hyzer flip, or if I'm going up in elevation, can really count on this one. But outside that, just again, a little bit more overstable than that Vanish. From there, one of my main distance drivers for max distance shots is this VIP WESTSIDE Destiny. Constantly reaching for this for my max distance. Throw it on a little bit of a hyzer, it'll flip up to flat, sometimes get that nice turn to the right, but always has that predictable and reliable finish to the left afterwards. A lot of my 400, 450 plus shots are with this VIP Destiny. Now from there, if I just need something straight, or if I'm starting to fight into some wind for some distance, the first disc I'll go to is my SHREIFF. This is a LUCID SHREIFF from Dynamic. Really, really great, just a tick more overstable than that Destiny. Really never turn this over all that much, it'll just stay straight for a long time, and then get that little sort of dump to the left at the end. Fighting more wind or need more of that, or of that fade to the left, I'll go with the Raider. Again, just a tick more overstable than that LUCID SHREIFF is this LUCID Raider. When you need it, get that overstability, it's there, it's fantastic. A relatively new disc to my bag, but I've been really liking the spot where I really need a ton of glide and push to the left, really overstable, but not a dumping overstable, more of a push, is this Halo WRAITH from Innova. This is Gary Girthy Halo WRAITH. super overstable for a Wraith, but again, really getting tons of that push and fade. Still can get some great distance, but never ever going to turn us over, at least not yet. And then finally, the most overstable disc in my bag is definitely this K1 RASC, my get out of jail free card. It's almost a utility disc as well. Feels like a 10 or 9 speed in the hand, but because of this extra weird lip on the bottom, just crazy, crazy overstable. So overhand shots, tomahawks, thumbers, weird flex forehands, things that I just need to dump, or I just need that crazy, crazy overstability. The RASC is a great disc for that. So those are the discs in my bag right now. Only other things I really carry in my bag, you know, my phone and keys and a marker up front for just marking my discs. Usually a water bottle on this side for hydrating, and then my speaker on this side for listening to some tunes. I also carry a birdie bag for keeping my hands dry when it gets nice and sweaty out there, as well as a little bit of silicone sandpaper for getting any nicks or chunks off of discs that hit the mini trees here. Also got a towel on here, a couple extra towels in the bag, always keeping them there, as well as my tags for the organization and any other tags I pick up along the way. So that's my bag here, September 2021. Hope to see you all out there playing, and thanks for listening. Appreciate it.